and we've got 7 more contests to unfold on our continuing coverage here from the Blibli Indonesian Open, Istora Stadium. It's a beautiful picture, isn't it? 2 courts of non-stop action. These are the 3 matches that we've brought you. Women's singles, a win for Tai Tzu-Ying over Intanon. Hasan and Setiawan coming through against Endo and Watanabe. That was an absolute belter. And mixed doubles just recently, the 5th seeds, Chan and Go of Malaysia, safely through 21-14 in that deciding game. Now, the men's singles, it's CHOU Tien Chen, the 4th seed from Chinese Taipei, taking on local hero, because he won the Asian Games here last year, Jonatan CHRISTIE, the 6 seeds, both men off of career high rankings. But I can tell you that there was an absolute sort of slew of seeds felled in the round of 16 in the men's singles yesterday. This is where we are in the draw. Winner will take on Cantafon Wang Shiroen, who's had a win over Huang. Well, Wang Shiroen, of course, the slayer of Anthony Ginting yesterday. Amamoto was downed at the top of the draw by Huang Yuxiang. But Huang was taken down today by the Thai athlete, Wang Shiroen. He's through to the semis. Who will meet him? The winner of this one. The power-laden CHOU Tien Chen, current world number 3, off of his highest ever ranking. Who's going to get one? He's pretty good at cagey with the t-shirts, isn't he? He took out Lindan yesterday, did CHOU. But here is Jonatan CHRISTIE, who's cruised past Rasmus Gemke of Denmark and Vitingus as well yesterday. Asian Games champion, they absolutely adore him here. Paul Hand in the commentary position with Steen Pedersen. Steen, your thoughts ahead of this one?
Yeah, it's going to be interesting. Repeat of last year's Asian Game final in on this very court here, but playing conditions quite different from any other year I've seen the Indonesia Open here in Istora. So it's going to be really interesting. Of course, Jonatan CHRISTIE, the favorite. You can see it with the head-to-heads here. 6-1 up.
Black or red? Red. Red. You black. Black. Side. That side. And you? Service or receive? Receive. Receive.
So CHOU electing to receive, but Jonatan CHRISTIE wants the far side. Yeah, it is subtly slower this year round as compared to the Asian Games, the shuttles.
It's never ever been so slow here in Istora Senayan. It's always been known as a fast-playing venue. That's not at all been the case so far this year. We're playing with Speed 2 shuttles, I was told yesterday, which is the second slowest speed there is. Speed 1 is the slowest, and it's been a totally different tournament this year. So it's going to be interesting. We are on unknown ground, so to speak.
Does that favour CHOU as you see it, you know, being such a good defender of his court? Or hard to tell. Let's get into that in a bit anyway as we look through their vitals. CHOU Tien Chen, 29 years old, off that career high ranking. It's a tough ask, isn't it? You know, you mentioned at the top there that he's 1-6 down head-to-head. He's always struggled with Jonatan CHRISTIE. Both men are outstanding athletes, that goes without saying, but they're both powerful. And that was apparent in this man's match yesterday in the win over Lindan. He just had a little bit more explosive attack and was also vigilant in defence of the court as well. An hour and 16 minutes it took him. Got past the Thai Ava Hingston on as well with, well, relative ease. But it's going to be interesting because this man, well, the whole roof lifted off this time last year when this man took the title of the Asian Games Men's Singles Championship. So off that career high ranking. And, well, it's put him as the new Indonesian #1 standout. It bodes well for Olympic Games selection, that's for sure. And there's his route through, as we mentioned earlier, everything inside the hour. He's in white-hot form, having come here. He's won recently the Australian Open, New Zealand Open as well. 3 semi-final showings at Malaysian Open, Korean Open, Indonesian Masters. And in that Indonesian Masters, he took down CHOU Tien Chen.
Ready to play.
So it really is going to be fascinating to see what unfolds here today. Down at the bottom of the draw, we mentioned CHOU Tien. We say hello to our umpires, and well, he had to withdraw, didn't he, against one of your compatriots, old Anders Antonsson, early 6-7 in that opening game with that rolled ankle. The world champion silver medalist out at the foot of the draw. Momota at the top. It was an amazing day yesterday. Chen Long's gone as well to Li Jijia. Incredible.
Yeah, I must say that I predicted it a little bit. I'm patting myself a little bit on the back here because I predicted ahead of the tournament that we were going to see surprises here. So far, it's mainly been in men's singles.
Ladies and gentlemen, on my right, CHOU Tien Chen, Chinese Taipei.
Highest ranked male in the men's singles.
On my left, Jonatan CHRISTIE, Indonesia.
But for this man,
Jonatan CHRISTIE to serve.
who is on it right now.
Love all.
Men's singles quarter-final.
Play.
CHRISTIE against CHOU.
One, love.
Take that. Welcome to my house.
2, love.
Oh, wow. He means business.
3, love.
And I saw the match yesterday when he was playing Hans Christian Wittinghus. He was having a commanding lead in the first game, but then had to use extra points to win it. After then, he got off to an 11-0 start to the second game. So that was quite impressive. But it was also a little bit disturbing how he sort of almost squandered that lead he had in the first game. I talked to Wittinghus afterwards, and he felt that CHRISTIE was somehow a little bit nervous in that first game when he was about to close it. And I think that could very well be the case. I mean, he's won the last 2 tournaments that has been played on the World Tour, and he's on home soil here, and he's the reigning Asian champion, which he was crowned the gold medalist. That was a little bit surprising. He was not at all the favorite for that tournament. So I think he's eager to prove that it wasn't a one-off incident, that he can win when the very best are also in the tournament. And then also to sort of modify the surprises a little bit, I think we have to acknowledge that CHOU only, I mean, we don't know the result, what the result would have been, but he lost due to injury. And we have Victor Axelsen out of the lower draw ahead of the tournament as well. So, I think we basically have had 4 reasonably big surprises so far.
Yeah, the draw really has opened up, hasn't it? Particularly in this section as well, with Wang Chiro now up above.
Yeah, and the first quarter, that was 2 big surprises yesterday. Of course, the biggest that Momota lost to Huang Yuxiang. But also a good win for Wang Charun against Anthony Ginting. A very good match there. So we can say generally that the change in playing conditions here in Historisonine is favoring physically strong players and fast-moving players. So if you got some of those skills, you got a great chance of doing well in this week, provided that the playing circumstances just doesn't change over the weekend. That's going wide, well left by Jonatan CHRISTIE. There's been a severe sideways drift going left to right in the first 3 days of this Super 1000 tournament. And that's why you're a little bit cautious leaving it on the left sideline. We'll see a lot of play in the left side of the field, I think. But as we get closer and closer to Sunday, the better players are still left here, and they get more and more used to playing in this arena as it's set up at the moment.
There's the drift you're talking about, Steen. And I tell you what, both of these athletes tick the box for fast and powerful.
9-4.
For sure. Just got to look at how statuesque they are.
And a really good start for Jonatan CHRISTIE, whom, in my opinion, is a little bit more consistent in his performances. Means you often see from CHOU some periods where points are slipping away quite fast, and he's got to try to avoid that.
9.
Under a lot of pressure already then, the third seed.
10-5.
And under a lot of noise pressure as well. Immaculate defense, great court coverage. It's Jonatan CHRISTIE, the Asian Games star, who breaks out to the front with a 6-point cushion, 11-5.
Play.
Always found that perfect.
Service over. 6-11.
So far, a good start for Jonatan CHRISTIE. Seems a little bit faster on his feet than CHOU Tien Chen. We know that Chen can make these jumps and so on. I'm just not sure he can make them consistently. He needs to take his breaks. There's a challenge.
Ball out.
First of the match. Yeah, you sense CHRISTIE perhaps just, he's very muscled, isn't he? But would you agree that he's a slightly lighter body frame than CHOU?
Yeah, he's shorter, so that would not surprise me at all. Very, very strong CHOU as well, so I don't think there's a big difference there. But I think he's a little bit faster on his feet. CHRISTIE. I saw the match where CHOU got his only victory against Jonatan CHRISTIE. That was in the Sudirman Cup earlier on this year in Nanning, and CHRISTIE was playing his only match of that campaign, and looked to be off form at that time, which was strange because he was coming directly off the win in New Zealand.
I think we might have done that one together, and we certainly called the Asian Games final together, didn't we? So we've seen a lot of these two. They've been great to watch. Never a dull moment. Atmosphere building nicely, as is CHOU's scoreboard.
Talking a lot about these playing conditions that there are here, and I talked to some of the Danes yesterday, and they say you can play the side where you play with the drift. That's where Jonatan CHRISTIE is at the moment. He's playing with the drift alongside the court. You can play that exactly as normal badminton. That has never been the case here in Historisson Iron. It has always been the most difficult side. Here, as you see, Jonatan CHRISTIE put that lob long. It's always been that you basically couldn't play the back court from the far side of the court here. You can do that now. On the other hand, it's very difficult for the near side of the court here, in this case CHOU Tien Chen, to get the correct length on his shots. You see that fantastic attack from Jonatan CHRISTIE. So that's the difference this year to other years, that it's actually sort of changed which side of the court is the, in quotation mark, good side. Excellent play by CHOU. It's the challenge at the net who sets it up. The control of the rally plays it back at Jonatan CHRISTIE at the net one more time than he expected.
Starting to get a little bit more of a read on the situation, and really settling now. Both men have had a run of 3 consecutive points. CHOU on the roll again here.
This time it was CHRISTIE who challenged a bit more at the net.
Oh, it's landed in. He looks a little overwhelmed with that. Was completely sold on that one spilling over the back line, but it didn't. Now, scoreboard narrowing. Bobbled over in his favour.
14. Now.
Well, they say winning becomes a habit. This man's done a lot of that lately. Titles in Down Under, New Zealand and Sydney.
Service over. 13. 14.
Driving the point was CHRISTIE, but he stuck that wide. So parity opening game here. Good comeback from CHOU. And when you consider this man was 5-11 down at the turn, done very well to get to this situation here.
played. That shot there, the cross net drop, and then the follow-up, that's fantastic play by Jonatan CHRISTIE. I think CHOU hoped that he would play him back in his short forehand so he could push CHRISTIE along the long diagonal to his long forehand corner. Clever play by the Indonesian. Oi, he trips a little bit, Jonatan.
A timely late surge at the sharp end of game one here from CHRISTIE. Really spreading the court nicely with wonderful backhand of his.
Thank you. Players, on court. Play.
That's a better lead. That time it went long.
18-14.
And after doing all the catching up by CHOU, then CHRISTIE again opens up the 4-point cushion. That's why it's so hard to trade and get back, because there's a risk that you might relax a little bit.
Good deception with the backhand down the line from CHOU there.
Service over. 15-18.
Oh, so quick to close that court down. He was neutralized in that point. We're going upstairs to confirm it, but that was one of the best points of the match so far. Had to take evasive action. Now, did it find the line or not? Yeah, inside. At least he hopes so. Well, he's won 5 out of the last 6. And he's in that winning habit. The competitive fire burning bright in those deep brown eyes of Jonatan CHRISTIE. There's big opportunity with Wang Charoen up above. There's no Momota. Muscles through again, Jonatan CHRISTIE. Redlining of that one.
Match point 15.
It's extremely well played, and CHRISTIE is one of the players who's beaten Momota, the world champion this year. It's in Malaysia, Super 750.
16-20.
Four more game points. Surely one of these for the man in black. movement. Jonatan CHRISTIE, like lightning in that opening game, securing it 21 points to 16, 18 minutes played. A wry smile of frustration. He needs to win this game to stay in this quarterfinal, does CHOU. But he's up against this man who played the model opening game. Model-looking man. Just that was a perfect start for him.
Second game. Love all. Play.
Dealing with the weight of expectation really well is CHRISTIE, in that he leads the head-to-head. Home venue.
Service over.
And then he does that as I pick him up. Behave yourself.
So change of ends now, and that means that it's a bit easier for CHOU Tien Chen to convert his attack to points. A little helped by the drift alongside the court. Good follow-up, excellent follow-up there. Alert, of course, to the fact that Jonatan CHRISTIE will be targeting the long forehand corner of CHOU a bit more from this near side of the court here. And if you are alert to that, then of course you can exploit it. So important that CHRISTIE doesn't get too focused on only playing the long forehand corner of his opponents. Got to play the right side of the court a bit more to keep the left side open.
Radar momentarily off for Jonatan CHRISTIE here. CHOU breaking to the front in game 2. Well, this was the perfect strike, loaded with pace, but more importantly, accuracy. Oh, cross net of the highest order from Jonatan CHRISTIE there. High skill level.
They've been very successful for him, these cross net drops. Makes the court big for CHOU, who already had his leg positioned to the long forehand corner. Excellent awareness by CHRISTIE. It's going long, yeah.
Well, the drift isn't as significantly onto the face of Jonatan CHRISTIE as it is sort of moving left to right, but that just enough to pull the shuttle marginally long there from CHOU.
Again, the cross net drop that sets up an opportunity. Excellent follow-up.
Panther-like the way he closes those down.
And he knew that the last time he tried to play a lob, CHOU, he put it long, so there was a good chance that he was playing back at the net, and he took advantage of that, Jonatan CHRISTIE.
He's left it, it's gone in. These guys computing thousands of decisions, hundreds of decisions within seconds, all the time. Shall I leave it? Shall I not? That was pretty quick as well. 332 kilometers per hour from CHOU. Loaded chili all over that.
Thank you. Undercut. Jonatan. Thank you. Okay.
He really does seem to relish this sort of competitive fervour, Jonatan CHRISTIE. Indeed, they both do, to be fair.
Yeah, otherwise none of them would be here.
Service over. 7-6.
This is what you play for.
Three really good shots in a row from Jonatan CHRISTIE, and that's why I feel that he's a bit more consistent in the long term than CHOU. Of course, he makes fairly easy mistakes at times as well. I just feel that he's a bit more solid overall than CHOU, but maybe the Chinese Taipei player will prove me wrong.
Okay.
CHOU sort of prowling, really enjoying that kind of mistake from CHRISTIE. And that's all fuel for CHOU's fire.
Seven.
Oh, again, Steen, it's that cross net drop, isn't it, that opens up CHOU's court.
Yeah.
Also a flat push from his backhand side that he started in the middle of the two lines there, and then eventually it drifted in.
Well, his response to CHOU's straight drop was just exemplary.
10.
Lucky net caught for CHRISTIE. Oi, I think that was short, that one from CHRISTIE. The service taking on top of the tape anyway. CHOU chose to return it.
So 3 in a row for CHRISTIE here, who's really on a bit of a roll. Hauled it back to parity. Can he take it further? That's hope so. Oh, he's touched the net. You can't believe it. He would played such a good point. CHOU was physical beast to sustain all of that high tempo movement. But let's see it again. Ah, he's upset with himself. It's 11-10 for CHOU right now.
Players back on court. Jonatan, on court. CHOU Tien Chen. On court.
Well, the good spell of play just coming to an end there with that nibble on the net with his racket. There's CHOU with a slender 1-point advantage here, and this must win this second game for him.
It's over. 11 all. Service over. CHOU 11.
Tries to play the net from a little bit far distance there, CHOU, and the longer away from the net, the higher the error percentage. Difficult to be really accurate from the white service line when you play into the net.
Christie spreading the court magnificently.
Yeah, and he sort of teased, dared CHOU to attack from his forehand corner, but not in a really good position. Christie was totally ready for anything, even the body smash.
Christie breaking to the front for the third time in this second game by 1 point. Ooh. Now, I'm not surprised he's challenged. Very close. What would we do without Hawkeye? Suspense building nicely here in the Istora Stadium.
My initial reaction was that it was wide, but let's see what Hawkeye says.
Well said, sir. Not by much. He's running out of challenge armory. There's CHOU.
Was that his last challenge here?
No, he's got one more remaining.
Okay.
Brilliant from Christie. All over it like a rash.
Thank you.
Everything about him says winner. The way he carries himself, his level of focus, his mental steel.
Everything except the black tights.
Oh, very nice. He's got all the answers right now. It's 5 in a row for the man with his tights.
And that seemed like a real confident shot. That one. It was actually the next one from Jonatan CHRISTIE, and I think he has a chance of closing this one in 2. When he was behind 10-7, I felt he was a little bit down body language wise, and wondering whether he might have to go to 3. Good clear. Well played. Good variations from CHOU. Instead of attacking every time from the long forehand corner, he played 2 clears. That's so important to keep your opponent guessing. Long. No, stays in.
14-16.
A couple of good points here from CHOU.
Thank you.
Ja, hade under against Christie that he leaves that one. It's the fastest corner on the court. Should have gone out, according to him.
On a roll here, taking his time. Nipping at the heels of Jonatan CHRISTIE nicely is CHOU. 3 in a row.
It's going wide.
Brilliant.
Fantastic rally. The save he makes at the net there. CHOU Tien Chen might as well mean that he stays in this match here.
So from 12-16 to 16 all then.
Ever since he played those 2 clears from the long forehand corner, he's gotten a bit of momentum back.
Wow, CHOU Tien Chen is tearing it up right now. 5 consecutive points for Chinese Taipei.
Yeah, and if he saw the match with Christie and Wittinghuis yesterday, whom Christie, of course, won eventually quite easily, but he squandered that 2014 lead in the first game.
Yeah, so the inference, perhaps not the very best front runner. Always found that as well.
18-16.
Everything he touches is turning to gold right now. Was it here?
But at the moment, it's like Christie doesn't really dare to play the whole court. That's better. Good shot. Great lift by CHOU. Fantastic rally. Well, he's successful in the end, Christie. He sort of takes the hard-working way, not really playing with a lot of risk in this rally, playing mostly shots that have a high success rate. And eventually he's rewarded with this kill at the net here.
Stops the run of points then for CHOU at 6. Delights this partisan Jakarta crowd. But is it enough? Because he's still got work to do. So tightening his laces. Perhaps just a moment to step off stage and collect his thoughts.
Okay. Jonatan.
takes a new racket, Christie. The grip all soaked in sweat.
No delay, yeah.
Sharp end to game 2.
18.
What next in this enthralling men's singles quarter-final? That last rally was a lung buster.
Tien Chen. Play. Service over. 19-17.
Well, he was in the driving seat here.
That's the small margins in badminton. Just a little bit more and it would have been a certain point. Unreturnable if it had gone over instead of staying on his own side.
Quick tower.
Well, he's only won 1 of the last 8 points, has Christie, right up against it. CHOU has brought his best, with his back against the wall.
Thank you.
To think that minutes ago, this man was 16-12 up, playing some really commanding badminton himself. Been lion-hearted, this turnaround from this man, the third seed.
This time he's successful with a net shot.
18-19.
Totally unreturnable for CHOU.
Again, he misses the straight drop.
20, game point, 18.
So after 47 minutes then, the third seed, with 2 game points to take us the distance. Closes that down, stamps all over it. Christie looking a little disappointed, but it's CHOU, the world number 3, who takes game 2, 21 points to 18. Again, another third game here to decide this tight contest.
Court 1, 20 seconds. Court 1, 20 seconds. Players back on court.
So players making their way back then for the start of the decider.
Final game.
One game shootout.
Love all.
Who can find a way?
Play.
Wang Chiroen lies in wait. No way. That is Houdini-esque, that turnaround. How did he escape that point?
1 love.
What an athlete, both of them.
Service over. 1-all.
They've got to be asking themselves in the Indonesian camp what happened at 16-12. Lost 9-2 from there.
You spoke of the two high clears to the forehand, or from the forehand of CHOU, didn't you?
Yeah, it can't be those two who decided everything, but there was a long rally, and in my opinion, Jonatan CHRISTIE, he took extremely long time to get back on court after that rally, and I wonder whether he's got the stamina. His first two matches have been against Danes, Rasmus Gemke and Vittinghus, both went in straight games. Here it seems like he wants to economize a little bit with his stamina. And of course, we have the Worlds coming up in a month's time in Basel in Switzerland, so I would expect players to give that a lot of focus as well in practice. Good shot. It's going wide.
Service over. 3-all.
Could also be nervousness, I think. Again, yesterday, the first game against Vittinghus, there was no signs that he should sort of squander the 2014 lead, but suddenly it was 20-all. Vittinghus had not had anything in that first game. Suddenly it was 20-all. CHRISTIE saved it by winning an extra points and got off to a flying start in the second. But it was out of nowhere Vittinghus come back, and you could say the same here with CHOU. He lost the first 21-16, fell behind 16-12 in the second, all smooth sailing, and suddenly we have a three-game match.
So, question on that basis, I love the way you've eloquently worded that, Steen. Would you suggest that it was more a case of the Indonesians switching off a little, or CHOU raising his game? I know a bit of both, obviously,
yeah.
but to what extent? On, you know, if you're looking at it, was it
On court, please.
CHRISTIE letting up to a sort of 7 out of 10, letting go, and
yeah, well, I think we have to give CHOU credit for doing something in his comeback, like the 2 clears that was something different.
Yes.
Whereas I feel that CHRISTIE sort of tried to just smooth sail it home. He didn't do anything to lose the game, but on the other hand, he didn't do a lot to win it either.
5-3. Service over. 4-5.
At the moment here, if CHOU can find a few good spots to change the pace within the rally, then he could do damage to CHRISTIE.
Service over. 6-4.
well, it's been a bruising physical contest throughout. Both men perspiring heavily. Well, he's won 5 out of the last 6, has CHOU. How will he go in terms of front running? We'll soon find out.
Jonatan, on court. Tien Chen, on court. Play.
CHRISTIE trying to G himself up to bring his best. CHOU with that sort of languid poodle around the court that he has between points. Well, they're starting to creep in a tiny bit, aren't they? The unforced errors that were just nowhere to be seen in the first.
Not a tiny bit, they're all over the place.
Yeah. First 30 minutes, there was none of that.
He's defending well, CHOU. He's been playing well since 12-16. We've got to give him that. That's landed inside.
Yeah.
And at the moment, CHRISTIE is staying in. He's trying to stay in there and hopes that CHOU will lose the match for him. Seems like there's no gas left in the tank to be proactive. And the couple of times that he's tried a moving fast to one of the smashes, CHOU has defended brilliantly. So it's difficult at the moment for Jonatan CHRISTIE, and I think he needs CHOU to sort of fall a little bit asleep to get back into this. Fantastic defense.
Well, CHOU doing well. He's driving these points. It's a 5th consecutive for him now. almost wonder whether there's perhaps too much match badminton on Christie's clock right now, having won back-to-back titles in New Zealand and Australia. Perhaps he's simply fatigued.
It's going wide.
That was a tired out, wasn't it?
In the wrong, change ends.
So it's all the man from Chinese Taipei, the third seed, is all over the start of this third deciding game. He leads by 11 points to 4.
It doesn't look like he wants to get off that bench there. Jonatan CHRISTIE.
Jonatan. They're on court now.
That's as forlorn as you ever see Jonatan CHRISTIE look. Is there any more gas in the tank for one last push? CHOU all over this deciding game. 11-4 he leads.
Going wide. No. Wow.
That looked like it was going on the other court.
I thought he started on the doubles line. So I was convinced that it was going to stay wide. But think back 1 year, Paul. Hendy Saputro, the Indonesian coach, he was taking a lot of heat because Jonatan CHRISTIE and Anthony Ginting, they weren't doing particularly well in the beginning of the summer. They crashed out of the World Championships early, first or second round, just 2 weeks ahead of the Asian Games. The Indonesian team said, relax, we're focusing on the Asian Games, that's our target. And who won the most medal at the Asian Games? Indonesia. So I could very easily see Indonesia targeting the World Championships in August in Basel, and this is sort of the final preparation phase where they haven't really been allowed to recover from a tough practice regime, and I think that's what we're seeing at the moment, that he's working towards the top of his game, Jonatan CHRISTIE, but he's just not there yet.
Well, he's delighting the crowd with that response, but it's been sparing of late.
But I mean, it's still possible that he can come back, because suddenly momentum can change. Suddenly you can get a feeling that I have a great chance of winning this if you're CHOU, and become a little bit tense.
Yeah, he's lost 9 of the last 10 now, CHRISTIE.
He's got to take his chances at the net, Jonatan CHRISTIE. He's got to play a little bit sharper. That's the way to do it. Whenever there's a chance at the net, he's got to go for it razor sharp, because he cannot afford, the way I see it at the moment, he cannot afford CHOU to be able to lift with accuracy to the back court. That's what he did so brilliantly in the last part of the second game. He started to get really good length on his lift and working Jonatan CHRISTIE between front court and back court. Yes, play back. Playback, yes. Exactly. That's how you score the easy points. it's maybe a 50-50 situation. You hope that it's a 60-40 situation in your advantage, or maybe a 70-30. If it's a 70-30 situation, you still have a chance to win this match. Can't afford too many of those misses there.
He's running out of time, is Jonatan CHRISTIE. Explosive brilliance there.
Yeah, and that's also a way to do it. The flat game. He can get into flat game exchanges. I'm not saying that he can necessarily win all of them, but he doesn't have to move that much.
That's a big point for CHOU.
Yeah, and a very different service return from the previous one, where he just lifted without any pressure on. Here he started out quickly and put CHRISTIE under pressure immediately, and what a difference. Amazing lift. Touched the net cord on its way. That's it. And this is where CHRISTIE really needs his Doris and Iron. Really needs the audience to carry him back in this match. Stays in. Short rally. That's what you want if you're an Indonesian fan.
Staring down his opponent, gesturing that, hey, I'm not done with this yet.
Good save. Oh, yes. That's a fantastic rally by CHOU, and he's satisfied with himself.
Yeah, that was a huge point for him, wasn't it? Psychologically, he was delighted with a little roar at the end of it.
And you can see he's still got the explosiveness in his legs. He can still inject pace, certainly within the rallies. Oh, that's a good shot. Fantastic cross from the deep forehand there by CHOU.
10. Thank you.
Draining every sinew to just try and clear that net and ask another question. He has been determined today.
There's Mr. Yanto, die-hard Indonesian fan.
Yeah, the Yanto.
So of course it's a little premature to decide the winner of this match, but should it hold up, that CHOU can capitalize on his lead here, I think both players can more or less be reasonably satisfied after a day or two, at least for Christie, because he played well until he sort of ran out of gas. And CHOU made a great comeback. It would be so easy to start feeling sorry for yourself at 16-12, 21-16, lost the first game down, 16-12. It would be very easy to start thinking about excuses, why it's not working. It's the whole, the slow shuttles and stuff like that. Instead, he sort of kept pushing on, and seems like he's going to get rewarded, even though Christie is doing everything he can to change this around. Yeah, that's well played. 13, 18. And I think a couple more points for Christie, then it becomes a real thriller, because if you're that close, you can always find a little bit extra. You can always find a little bit of sweat on the court that needs to be dried, and you would have the momentum. Right now, CHOU would be devastated if he lost this match, because he fought back and brought himself in a good position. Important rally, this one. Good shot.
Gone, and what a treat that was. Jonatan CHRISTIE take a bow, showing such determination. He might be fatigued, but he's showing mental steel right here.
14, 18.
Look at the body language of CHOU here.
Yeah, because CHOU threw everything he had at Jonatan CHRISTIE, but he defended so well. Made the right choices.
The tidal wave of noise has returned in the favor of Jonatan CHRISTIE. Can he build on it?
CHRISTIE asking for medical attention.
Seems a little strange time to do it, having just won the last 4 consecutive points. He's on a roll here. This is unusual. No sign of him hurting himself. Perhaps it's just an impeding blister that's hampering him or something.
He wants some spray on his ankle, probably.
Did he roll it now?
That's what he's signaling to the doctor. You can see that it's strapped. Doesn't necessarily mean that much. Hopefully it's just a precaution.
Yeah, but
a lot of players have strappings on the ankle.
Is that a good move right there? You know, right now to do that when he's on a roll. I mean,
it's a perfect move. He needs a breather.
Yeah.
So even if he hadn't felt anything at the ankle, it would be a great move, tactical-wise. Yeah,
just because he's still trailing by 4, I guess.
Yeah. Not because he's trailing, because he's tired.
Yeah. So
far, 2 minutes have gone by since the conclusion of the last rally.
Yeah.
So hopefully nothing seriously wrong with Jonatan CHRISTIE, and hopefully he can give everything he's got left, because this man has also gotten a 2-minute break. CHOU Tien Chen.
4 points between them. what next in this winding road.
Oh, that's well played.
Service over.
Just trying to counter all that noise in his
19,
face.
14.
Almost antagonizing local fans.
I think he's trying to find someone in the audience to celebrate with, someone who's cheering for him.
Yeah.
I'm not sure he was successful. From wide.
He likes the
20,
response.
match point.
6 match
14.
points then for CHOU Tien Chen, who's turned this around admirably.
Again.
That is a superb win for CHOU Tien Chen. He will be utterly relieved. The Asian Games runner-up of last year avenges that loss a year later. A physically grueling battle they came through,
Match won by
but not
CHOU
to be
Tien Chen.
denied. What a
16,
super
21,
match.
21,
Played in
18,
great spirit.
21, 14.
But it's CHOU Tien Chen of Chinese Taipei, the 3rd seed, who survives a really tough encounter, coming through in 3 close games. Many thought that Christie was going to turn it around in the end, but it was a mighty tough ask. He was 18-10 down in that decider, and that was a bridge too far. The day belongs to CHOU Tien Chen, coming through 16-21, 21-18, 21-14. A lion-hearted turnaround from him. It'll be Cantafon Wangcharoen up next for him in tomorrow's semi-final. Confirmation of the scoreline. CHOU Tien Chen through to the last 4.